So, I was driving here, from our ranch. By the way, 30 years. It's really exciting, Gina, that you're doing all this because it's needed. The mind is something we're working here at the Institute, but the heart is something that needs to actually be nurtured, the body and who we are as people. It's great to come and listen to lectures and learn, and we're using this wonderful thing called our brain, but there's something missing, and that's the heart. So thank you so much for that. So as I'm driving here from the ranch, I started thinking, well, I want to talk about, what I've done and Mind Up and what these kids are doing and where we are today. But this whole theme is about love. And I started thinking, what about love is it? Realizing that love is probably one of the most powerful aspects that we have as human beings. But we're not born loving. We're born needing. We're born needing the breast. We need this. We need food. We need attention. And children who are not given love suffer throughout their entire lives. And that they will have a deficit in many different areas of their life. And one of them is feeling less than. Another one is feeling that they don't matter. Another one is that they'll be drug takers. Another one is that they'll find ways to soothe themselves in sometimes negative ways. And I'll share with you, because I'm only going to speak for 15 minutes, and on this subject I could speak forever. But I just wanted to share something that happened to me. Because when I was first starting out, I was shifting from being a dancer into becoming an actress on television. And it was very disconcerting. And one of the things that happened to me, because I wasn't ready for it, it wasn't part of my plan, is that I ended up having these incredible anxiety attacks where I should be happy. I'm on television. I was picked out of the chorus. It was all going to be great. But the truth of the matter is, it wasn't for me. My life was changing. I was feeling unstable, destabilized by this shift and change. And what happened is I became extremely introverted. I lost my smile. I didn't want to go out. And the book that changed my life, aside from meditation during that time period, is a book called The Art of Loving by Eric Fromm. Has anybody read this book? It's an old book, but it changed everything because love changes everything. And what we can feel when we meditate is a kind of love that it's a universal love. It's where your heart is expanding and every piece of you feels like every piece of the world, of the universe. We are one with. It's the most beautiful feeling. But how do you activate love? It's one thing to activate mindfulness. It's one thing to activate awareness. But how do we activate love? And this, I think, is our biggest challenge. Because those of us who want love have to learn how to love. But how we love isn't always about how we give. It's how we feel. And those of us who just say, well, I did this for this person and I did that for that and I'm showing my love here and I'm taking care of the planet. And guess what's missing sometimes is self-love. We forget to love ourselves, which is one of the most important well springs of energy and chi and giving, an endless fountain of the ability to feel joy, is if you cannot give yourself the love you need. And as you have your children and your work and find all of the stresses around it, you have one thing, you. And you are the engine to your world. And your heart will drive you to do the right thing. And so after 9/11, I was driven to do something. And having worked in this business for so long and having made people laugh, and it's great. I'm still making people laugh on over here a little bit. But I really am being incredibly grateful for the opportunity in my life to have that, to give. But the other part was, what am I going to do? Goldiie. What can Goldiie do to help the world? Because we were spinning out of control after 9/11. And I sat there and I thought about this and I decided that looking at the state of mind of our children, the state of mind of the parents who were supposed to give the children love and be there for them and give them attention, We're worried about money. We're worried about being attacked. We're feeling polarity now in the world. The world is upside down. What kind of society are we building? What's happening to our kids who are having silent distress? So I activated my love. I took it to the wall. I took it to the limit. And I decided after that I was going to create a program. And I said, I would love it, in my meditation, I said, I would love it to reach every child in the world. Because if every child in the world could experience meditation, understanding the brain, self-management of their emotional construct, to be able to feel that there's someone in front of them and they're tolerant of whatever their religion or their belief system, or even if they disagree. Or be able to really look at something and have perspective taking. That's peacemaking. That's conflict resolution. What would happen if we raised our children from kindergarten up with this kind of education? Because every child isn't brilliant. Every child isn't going to change the world. But we have to create peace in the world. And I believe that this is the pathway. So with my belief, with my love of children, and the idea that I couldn't see another suicide, I couldn't see another child having to take a pill for depression. For me personally, as a mother and now a grandma, I could not possibly understand how we as a nation could stand for this. Don't turn a blind eye to the kids. So I did the impossible. Goldy, you'll never do it. You'll never have meditation in the classroom. You'll never teach kids about their brain, they'll never understand. Schools will not accept it, and that won't happen. We're over 2 million children now. We are here. We've just gone into Jordan. We're in 20,000, more than 25,000 kids in London alone doing it. We have Dubai now wants 20 schools. We have Hong Kong, Australia. We have the US. We have here, my town, which is amazing. We have all over the US, Canada. So the point is, when you love, you don't let go. Because you can't change the very thing that you are and walk away from your sense of duty and love. Because when Gina said, every day we wake up and we ask, who am I? I want to be able to answer that question. I am someone who continues to understand how to love and how to pull away when I need to know that I need to refurbish and regenerate myself. These are things that we need to know. Who am I? I'm proud to say that I'm not a give-up-a-vitch. I have a little boy that I met in Peru, and he was 7, he's now 25, and I'm still loving and taking care of him. I don't walk away. We have a little boy that I loved when he was 14 months old in Dharamsala. I found him at Tibetan Children's Village. He's now 17 years old. We visited him last summer. I cannot tell you the joy when you follow through on love. It's hard to explain. But you know, you remember as a mom, remember the first babies we had? We thought we could never love the other baby coming. How can I love something else as much as I love this child? And yet, along came Katie. And I loved her just as much and differently. And then along came Wyatt. And then I loved him just as much but differently. And then along came Boston, my stepson. And I fell in love with him, and I'm so grateful for Kurt for having him because he's my spiritual master. So the heart can hold more love than you can ever imagine. Mind Up has 4 pillars, which I'll show you in a minute. First, we have to learn about the brain. Why? Because we ask our children to learn. We ask them to use their brain. We ask them to do things, to focus, to understand, to listen, things that they don't have any idea what's going on inside of this incredible tool that they have. So they learn about their brain and the emotional system of the brain. 3 times a day, then we do a brain break. We have quiet time with a chime. We do brain breaks 3 times a day, and often before a test, the children will ask, Can we do this before a test? That's them. Then we have mindfulness and mindful of our senses, all wrapped around curriculum. So all our senses are in a mindful place, smelling, hearing, and all. And then we do our place in the world. And we do acts of kindness. We do gratitude circles. This is not just woo-woo stuff. It changes the brain. The minute we can have a habituated child habituating positive thoughts about gratitude, the brain fires differently. It builds, instead of the Grand Canyon of negativity, the Grand Canyon of neurological connections that says, I can't, or the Grand Canyon of anger, or the Grand Canyon of fear. The brain loves to create that. Loves it. Habituating ideas, and then suddenly you realize I'm an angry person. Or then you realize that I'm a frightened person. Or then you realize I'm a reactive person. We try to build the brain in a different way. That's going to school. That's learning how to learn. It's learning how to manage your hatred. It's learning how not to bully. And yes, our bullying has gone way down. So I'm excited to show you this. I'm really happy to talk to you about what I've been doing these 13 years. I did make a movie with Amy Schumer, and that was really fun, and I went to Hawaii for 3 months, had a ball, and but now I'm back at it because, you see, I'm not a give up a bitch. Anyway.